Well, we're back here at the Western Over at the start of the last quarter. The umpire just holding up the ball and the siren sounding to commence this last quarter. Very good quarter by Thomson, that third quarter. Moved the ball well. It's amazing, you know, the runners, I think they're well on top of Bellpost Hill. Very good words spoken by Darren Spence, asking for commitment. Just mentioning that, you know, we don't want this to be the last game. Is what's happened here? I couldn't pick that up. Yeah, looks like one of the Thomson fellas ran in as a Bellpost Hill bloke kicks the ball down, and where O'Toole takes a very clever, strong mark at centre half forward. I think it might be a little bit far out for, and 15's just drifting down the ground now. Dominic, yeah, keep an eye on him as he elects to have a shot. Kicks the ball along. It's a nice looking kick, but it won't make the distance. Thomson in front, punches it through. Craig McCallum cleverly, and good play, wise move. Really, Thomson should be looking for the first goal, which would give them a good break. The way the game has been played, it won't be a high scoring game, and it'd be very hard for Bellpost Hill to pick them back up if they can get that first goal. As Pres out towards Presley, thumps over the back, the Bellpost Hill bloke, 34, kicks the ball over, and here's 15, who probably went out of the game a little bit, started very well, but has gone out of the game, and Cole Ellinger, yep. As O'Keefe charges through, kicks the ball out to the wing, where Daryl Smith would, very hard to get over the top of him. The Bellpost Hill fella takes the mark, looking down the ground, very crowded forward line here. Good defence, Thomson. Close it up a little bit down here. As we see Ma in front, making the commitment. As the ball comes out, now we see McDonald's pace will go round to his right foot. No, he handballs over the top to Rowbottom, who was a good long kick of the ball. Kicks back towards the centre, but once again, we have Mark Thornton in the middle, who looks on, he sees a short pass, he's going over the top, but we have Larry Hayes there, the ever reliable, tremendous game, Larry Hayes, down the back line looking for someone upfield to kick the ball to. Not much movement there, so he's holding it around, so he just goes to kick the ball long, kicking it out to the attacking side. Nearly a great mark by Sverko. Damien McDonald crashes through. Great play, Damien. As he kicks to Murphy. Can't quite get there. Brad Redmond, good handball over the top. Murphy's got the run of the ball. Good football, kicking down. Kicking lets him down a little bit, but it's down in the Thomson forward line, and that's where we like to see it. There'll be a ball up in the Thomson forward pocket, where I think Dougie Gillett will do the ruck work, opposed to... What's that long haired bloke? Yeah, Broad. Alistair Broad. Oh, now that's got to be in the back. That's a terrible free kick. That was so obvious. Now, a chance for Doug. Not quite put the sealer on, but this will put Thomson 4 goals up if he kicks this, which with the advantage of the wind, would make it very hard for Bellpost Hill to come back in. Doug runs in straight, kicks the ball. That's a beautiful kick. He allowed, he aimed for the inside point post, drifted across, and it's gone straight through the middle. Still fella, and pushed big Dougie Gillett straight in the back, and he replied with a great goal. Now, once again, there's a ball, something going on over here. I can't work this out. We must have one too many playing in that centre square or something. So he kicks down to number 2, takes a good solid mark, plays on the handball over the top to the fella who trips, chase him up. Alfie Marr did well, has a shot for goal. Larry Hayes just touches it on the line. Well, I'll tell you what, I thought Presley was the best player on the ground, but Larry Hayes mustn't be far behind him, Run.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. He has done a great job there in the last line of defence this afternoon, as we see the senior umpires coming around the ground, Adam Gladkey, and I'm not sure, that could be Rod McEwen, I think, the big fella. So they're warming up for the big game, as we see the big fella Marr out at outer side half-back flank, try to pick the ball up for the Thomson side, but he's hotly pursued, and we see a throw-in take place 60 metres away from the Bellpost Hill goal. And as we approach the 5-minute mark of this final quarter, Thomson are a handy 23-point leaders. Horton now breaks clear for the Bellpost Hill side. Long kick on, there's nobody home for the Thomson Tigers. Runs into an open goal, 15 metres out. And I think you'll find he's popped it straight through the centre is that young Cole Ballinger, who Polly Rankin did say earlier, started off very well for the Bellpost Hill side.
in a way might help Thomson to make them realise the game's not over. They've got to man up. You've got to be with your man all the time. As we see the ball come out, if it bounces up for Gardner, it's over to Sverko on the wing, who puts it quickly onto his left foot. The ball going down. Brad Redmond bounces up for him. No, he's a little bit under too much pressure there. He had 4 against him there, Brad. Tried hard, but numbers against him. As we see Fairchild, is it? Fairchild with the ball. Kicks long towards the centre. Preslick, Maher under the ball. Ball goes up. And Alex Smith once again has called a very harsh decision against the Thomson side as this fella plays on. He's been a pretty solid player for him all day. And he handballs from a free kick, which hopefully won't be in football this year, next year, that rule. So what's going on? I think the umpire's just lost it here. He's taken the ball back towards the centre from where the bloke actually handballed. So we have a ball up in the centre towards the wing. We'll see Preslick again do the rucks work, but it's a bad bounce. But we have Serko, kicks it on the left foot around. We've got Murphy under the ball. Redmond coming over the top, punches well. Good hard work by the Thomson boys. Don't let him out of there easily. Good work, young Smith. I'll tell you what, put him under pressure well. Fairchild, great tackle there by the Thomson fella who was Darren Spence. Out to Daryl Smith, who come on in that second half, was a very elusive player in that third quarter. We've got Spence, he taps the ball on to Redmond. What do we have here? Free kick to Spence. I couldn't see what it was for, actually. I think the bump was fair enough. It was in the side. No, it wasn't Alex Smith. Ron Brain just mentioned it was the other umpire. But Craig Spence, the coach of the Thomson side, a very important shot for goal here. Runs in, kicks once again. That is twice down there. Darren has laid off the ball and it's gone through for a point. And that's 1 goal 2. And both those shots actually for Darren weren't that hard. As we see the ball post hill, full back, kick the ball in, goes out to the far side wing. Bushy Gardner from behind, can't punch, and plays on well as McDonald, who's been a good player for him. Kicks down to number 2, good strong mark by Barnes, Troy Barnes. Looks up towards the centre forward region where he kicks. Dempsey's under the ball. Good knock, Dempsey. Follows up the ball well, kicks long too to Murphy under the ball here. Gets in front. Good place, Furco again. Follows the ball up well. Damien McDonald. Now that's too high. And Damien McDonald naturally shows him the ball and sucked. Who's number 5 there? Paul McDonald. Well, I'll tell you what, Damien, good thinking. As Alex Smith takes him down to about, it would be shooting from 50-yard line out, so which would put him about 53 yards out. Could go to Craig McCallum, but he's elected to kick long. We've got Dougie Gillett. We've got a lot of pushing down there, and Spence nearly takes a mark. Redmond nearly off the ground, which goes through a point, which might be a handy point for Thomson later in the game, because that puts Thomson 19 points up at the 10-minute mark of the last quarter. It's to go straight down the ground. I think they've got to go for those tactics now. They're running out of time. So we get Sverko, who's really played well this last quarter. Daryl Smith, 28 for Sean Bale. Kicks out long. Damien McDonald putting this bell post hill bloke under pressure with Brendan Rowbottom. The ball's on the ground. Brendan Rowbottom runs around well. And a clever little kick to Serko. Good handball, but elects to slow it up. No one on the mark, so he goes straight down the ground where Spencer's got the sit over the back and takes the mark. Handball's on to Brad Redmond. Could have been a little bit quick. Could have steadied there, Darren. Now we need a runner down here, but we haven't got one. It's bell post hill. We'll run the ball out through Fairchild out of the back line. 1 bounce. Ma under the ball. We've got O'Toole hanging over the back. Looked around for the handball. There was no one there. Looks up the ground. He's got a lead, but he elects to go long, and we've got Chopper O'Keefe, and here's Larry Hayes once again. Help him out there. Could have had a free kick for his bell post hill. Get the ball out here. 15, who kicked the last goal to him, and that's good defence by Maher, and he hasn't paid the mark. Well, he's kicked out long, a good defensive kick out to the half-back flank, Thomson's half-back flank, a good defensive kick, good work, Alfie Marr.
And he was still being held without the football.
Yeah, played a great game and takes the ball uncontested. Oh, someone went through hard there, number 2. Might be a little bit of frustration coming into the Bell Post Hill game, and there's a free kick to Adrian Goodwin. Adrian, you better take his number, mate. Adrian's a policeman, you know, just might remember that fella for doing that. Kicks the ball, slips as he kicks the ball, and there's a poor effort by 31 for Bell Post Hill to go for that mark, and he's kicked back out to that wing, that forward pocket. Alfie Marr, good work again. Could have been a little bit high, to which the umpire has paid to Brendan Rowbottom. I think Rowie might slow it up here and elect to kick the ball long. As we approach the 13-minute mark of the last quarter now, that could have been in the back to Thomson, and the ball just drifts over the line out on the far wing. Ball does the ruck work. Here's good young Smith, couldn't pick the ball up. The ball's down in the ground, knocked out by Dougie Gillett. Now what's happened there? He's paid a free kick to Troy Barnes, who's been quite a good contributor. And there's Surf. Yeah, good place, Furco. Tell you what, he's played a great last quarter. Handball's over to Murphy. Could go to Smith. Elects to look down the ground. Spence taken down. And I tell you what, I think Alex Smith has finally realised Thomson will win this game and has given us a free kick in front of goal. Now Darren, a chance to attain here. He's missed a couple of fairly easy shots for him down there, and plus the last one he took a mark just before and he played on. I think he should have steadied then. Steadied the side down, kicked the coaches a coach-winning goal, if that's the way to put it. Lines up, dead in front, I would say about 25 metres out for goal. Comes in. And he has finally got one, and a very happy coach, Darren Spence. The Thomson boys go over, huddle up. We see Dominic Cordello, you know, one of the veterans of the side, coming off, and maybe they just might be giving him a rest. And we see Brian Souters coming onto the ground.
Up. We're approaching the 13.5-minute mark of this final quarter. Thomson now 10-12, 72 to Bell Post Hill 6-11-47. That's a 25-point advantage, as we see now that Damien McDonald, a great captain's game this afternoon, kicked to half forward. The ball is fisted away though, comes back down to where McDonald traps it again. He backs his pace, gets a quick kick out to the centre wing position. That'll do the Thomson boys. It's gone out of bounds right on centre wing in front of our commentary position here this afternoon, and we see now that Dougie Gillett on the ground on the ball, giving Richard Preslick, the best man on the ground, for minor rest, as we see the ball fisted back to once it had just come, and another throw-in to take place. Thomson haven't had too many passengers this afternoon, mate.
No, they've all contributed well, and I think the benches, the brains trust on the bench. The moves they've made, they've all seemed to have paid off for Thomson today. It's been Shane Grapsis and Craig Middlemiss, and probably Mitch is down there now. They've all worked well and thought about, you know, the setup of this game. As young Smith gets the ball, and down he goes over to Goodwin, who barges through. Good play, Goodwin. Will kick long now. Kicks long. We've got Spence and Fairchild under the ball. One hand. Kicks it over. It's coming out, but good pressure again. Preslick, you know, well, that's just the game Preslick's played, Ron. You know, you just put him under pressure. He's been a tremendous player and forced that fella into kicking it out of bounds. We've got Brad Redmond on the right side, who's a right foot. They should go back, take a little bit of time about this, Brad. Got a lead from Jack Dempsey coming out there. That's ignored. There's not much space there to lead to, so Brad goes long, kicks it down towards the goal square. Could have been a bit of an infringement down there as Fairchild takes the ball, kicks out of bounds. Young Smith goes for the ball, but it bounces over his head, and it will be a throw-in in Thomson's forward pocket.
He's a real dasher, that Michael Smith, isn't he?
Yeah.
Come on the ground.
Well, just and Darryl, you know, they both started on the bench, and they've come on. They've both added a little bit of pace to the Thomson side. Now that's surely around the neck to Craig McCallum. Now the Thomson boys now don't get sucked in, you know. Suckers don't win finals. As the umpires sort this out, I think it's settled down now as Craig McCallum is just about to take the ball. Now I think Craig too, you know, should be having a shot for goal here. He's probably 35 yards out. The wind behind him. on about a 45-degree angle. Takes his time, no leads forthcoming, so he elects to have the shot for goal. Runs in straight. If that wind gets hold of that and brings it round, and that's another goal to the Thomson Football Club, and a great goal, a well-earned goal to Craig McCallum, who's played a great game this afternoon. As the Coca-Cola scoreboard reads, 6 goals 11, 47 Bellpost Hill to the Thomson side, just coming up now. 11 goals 12, 72 Bellpost Hill. I think the pace of the Thomson fellas, the small men, have actually cut Bellpost Hill to ribbons this last half. But then again, the game's not over yet, as McDonald, who's picked his game right up, as good captain's effort, kicks it out to the half-forward flank. We got Suitors running after the ball, puts pressure on the Bellpost Hill fella, and it's a ball in on Thompson's half-forward flank. We'll see big Dougie Gillett doing the ruck work here. He's called for young Smith to go over the back. Let's see if Duck can get that tap over the back, but the ball's poorly thrown in and he never had much chance there. But he butted up well. Suitors gets the ball to Murphy. Good play, Murph. Kicks the ball down. We got Brad Redmond. Can't hold the mark. We got young Smith there again. Looks for the handball. Goes a little bit astray of Adrian Goodwin. Now that's got to be too high. No, play on's the call. And he's Alex Smith once again elects the ball up. Go off. We see Panda Watson coming off, and we going onto the ground. We see Sverko coming off, and what a great game he's played, Ron.
Yes, without a doubt, he added a lot of bite across the centre line for the Thomson boys today, and he'd be pretty happy with his game.
That's for sure. The coach would be very happy with his performance. Same with about another 21 or 2 of them too. So we see a little bit of a huddle here in the middle. Alex Smith breaks it up. Good, he has a look at that bloke, but he elects to ignore it, which is the right thing to do now, approaching the 20-minute mark of the 15-minute mark. The 17-minute mark of the last quarter. That'll do anyway. So that could have been, he's allowed it to play on. As Brian Gardner comes in, keeps his body. Damien McDonald. Now that's too high. But I'll give Smithy the advantage there. He was caught once again behind play and couldn't see that free kick, as the Bellpost Hill fella isn't too happy about this. Number 44, who's let himself a couple of times down. I remember in that first quarter there, Ronnie, a little bit of an ankle tap. I haven't forgot that. Brian Gardner works hard, forces the ball close to the boundary line. The ball's knocked over by young Smith, who's been a real terrier this last half and fought well for Thomson, as with Brian Gardner. Once again, Dougie Gillett, the veteran ruckman, tells the bloke where he wants him, and that's just couldn't quite get it there. Panda Collins under the pack, Goody, could have been a free kick. The ball's just kept in the bottom of the pack, and that's pretty good hard work by the Thomson back boys there. There's a little bit of frustration starting to come out now, and the captain of Thomson, Damien McDonald, showing to the Bellpost Hill bloke, have a look at the scoreboard, you mug. Ball up here, Dougie Gillett. Good work, Dougie Gillett. Good strong work, Panda Collins. Young Smith in there again. Damien McDonald working hard. Good, he comes barging through the pack. There's a little kick in, but once, look at that. We have Brian Gardner down there who kicks long to the wing. Suitors coming in for the ball. There's a chance here now as McCallum, who's been a very good and fast player there today. Kicks the ball long. Spencer's under the ball, talking down there needed. Could have been holding the man to Fairchild. Play on. Spence at the bottom of the pack. Kicks to Dempsey. Brad Redmond follows through well. Could knock it over to Daryl Smith here. Won't bounce up for him. That could have been in the back too. Play's allowed to go on. So we got Murphy. Got a 10-yard break on the ball, running over out towards the outer wing. Handball over to Mark. Good football. Mars a little bit lost for balance there. Good hard work. No, score out of bounds. At the 20-minute mark of the last quarter, I think the home and nose Thomson boy. He's called a free kick on here, and Adrian Goodwin just coming off the ground, which, yeah, a little bit tired. One of the veterans at the side, you know. Great game, Adrian Goodwin, yes, was just pointed out, and we see Mickey Gann coming onto the ground. Dougie Gillett. Bit slow, Doug, and he's called it too. That's fair enough. Come on, fellas, just run down now, pick up your men, don't give them 1 inch. Kicks the ball long. It's a poor kick, actually. Centre forward, Brian Gardner does well. Follows the ball up well. Follows the ball up again. Good work, Brian Gardner. Gives a handball out to Smith, who's away now. Good football. Who just gets knocked there at the last minute. Good tackling there, and once again we see Belpo Hill frustration as it's kicked out to the wing. Belpo Hill fella by himself, kicks the ball poorly, and it's on. We've got a fight behind play here. I don't know where the camera, it's over there, is it, or it's over there. I think it started to settle down now, and I think Fairchild has been sent off for Belpo Hill. This play's allowed to go on. Could have been a bit high to the Belpo. Now that's in the back, surely. Just settle down, Thomson. You nearly got it.
Okay, Johnny Matthews, Belpo Hill side's not looking too good. Takes his kick now, goes short, but the ever reliable Larry Hayes. Oh, that slipper comes out again, the old silver slipper of Steve Campbell, but it doesn't matter because Andrew Watson takes the ball, goes to the outer side, and the most damaging player across half forward after half time for mine in Brad Redmond takes a great mark. Kicks the ball long, looking for his coach. This coach, though, is met pretty solid there by Alistair Broad. He's caught with the football. It squeezes out there. We see that Sooners gives it across to his teammate there at Smith. Smith in turn to Watson from 15 metres out. Has missed an opportunity to kick his first goal for the afternoon, but I would suggest that at this moment percentage doesn't really matter, and the 4 points is all that the Thomson Football Club need, as we see that the Coca-Cola scoreboard now, as we approach the 21.5 minute mark of this final term. Thomson 11-13-79, 32 point leaders over the Belpo Hill side, 6-11-47. Just waiting now on the fullback in Mark Horton to bring the ball back into play. Not sure what to do. Decides to go straight down the centre with a lovely looking drop punt, looking for Broad. He's in front, but over the top, Dempsey. The umpire has paid the man in front, and that goes to Alistair Broad. He breaks clear, pops the ball onto his left foot, goes to half forward. The kick is not a good one, but Neville O'Toole's got a 5 metres on his opponent. Goes short, looking up the ground for nobody in particular. The bounce favours the Thomson defender there in Rowbottom. He's dispossessed. He's got good support though by Marr. Marr's hand pass to Gardner's an absolute shocker, but Gardner's good enough though now to steady proceedings down. Goes short as there's a little skirmish in the forward pocket, but nothing serious, as now a kick goes out to half forward. But the kick is a poor one. Play's allowed to continue now as we see Broad go towards goal, but he's played a pretty good game this afternoon too in Paul Marr. He's steady proceedings down and kicks the ball long to the outer side, looking for Watson. Takes a nice grab. Plays on immediately now. Looks to the centre of the ground for Murphy. He's under a little bit of pressure here. The ball holds up. He contests very well, that young fellow there, Steve Murphy. But Barnes trips in, chips in with a nice little pass, but it floats over the head of his teammate there in Broad for another bounce, or should I say throw in. It's about 50 metres from the Belpo Hill goal, and I would suggest that the frivolities and the beer will be flowing pretty freely tonight at the Thomson Sports Club.
Yeah, that'll be for sure. Players, will be able to relax this afternoon back at the Thomson Sports Club, and I'm sure they will. And a well-deserved, I'll call it a win now. I don't think Belpo Hill just seem to be going through the motions now. Maybe Thomson a little bit loose here as the ball's kicked out to the half-forward flank as number 3 runs in, has a shot for goal, goes for a dirty old mongrel punt, and there's Larry Hayes once again just rushing the ball, and Mickey Gann rushing, which Larry's legs have gone a little bit tired for all the hard work he's done. As the Belpo Hill fellow runs in, has a shot for goal. Hayes is under the ball, could have been in the back. It's about the first time I've seen this fellow, whoever he is. He hasn't done too much. He's got a few tats on his arm by the look of him, but he's been very quiet out there, Ron.
Well, surprisingly, Polly, that this fella Everett has kicked 33 goals for the season and was a third on the goal-kicking list. That's his first touch for the game. It's a great credit to Larry Hayes. He's kicked the goal, but okay, Larry might have blotted his copybook, but if you think, when you look back at the replay, could have been Larry's free kick for the push for mine.
Well, there was a little nudge there, but the umpires were caught once again out of position. Damien McDonald clapping the boys, urging the boys on. Come on, let's finish this out. Doug holds his body there as the ball's kicked down. I'll tell you what, he's just had his second go at it, and it's a pretty good effort. And O'Toole's under the ball, running towards. It's a great effort. But there's Alfie Marr now. Alfie, go for a run. 2 bounces. 3 bounces. Thank Christ this isn't Adrian Gold. That's more like good. He'd do that. He'd spill it. Handball over the top to Smith was good play. Keeps the ball back in towards the centre now. Alfie Marr followed up really well. What a great second half Elf's played.
Yeah, right.
It's number 4 for Bellpost Hill. Get the ball. We've got Brad Redmond. Looks down the ground. Got plenty of time. Kicks the ball well. And we have Murphy about 40 yards out, which would be a hard shot from the angle he's on. He's kicking into the wind here now too, I'd suggest. Went for the short pass. He's kicked long. Centred the ball well. And we have Suitors under the ball who takes the mark.
Great vision.
And should just settle down as Panda Collins walks over and just Damien McDonald runs up and just says, settle down, the game's ours, take as much time as you like. 26 minutes are gone, so, and it's straight through the centre. It's been a great effort by the Thomson boys this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, Ron, you know, like I might be a little bit prejudiced to the Thomson side, but every bloke that's gone on that ground today has contributed something.
Well, mate, you know, coming to this game today, I didn't really know much about both sides, and having spoken to the Bellpost Hill team manager before the game, suggested that the Bellpost Hill boys were favourites, having won both encounters during the season. And I think that having seen the game today, the Thomson boys, it's a great credit to the club, the selection committee, and the supporters here this afternoon, because they haven't let anybody down, the players that are on that ground today. It's been a great team effort, and congratulations to the Thomson boys for their, I believe, a great win. And who knows what can happen.
Well, that's right too, you know, and as we mentioned at the start of the commentary, with the seniors going down this year, you know, it's all important for us to do well in this second's final series, as well as the under-18s next week. As the siren sounds, and we look at the Coca-Cola scoreboard over there, we see the final score, Bellpost Hill 7-12-54, were defeated by Thomson 12-13, 85, and what was a great team effort. A credit to the club, a credit to Darren Spence out there today. You know, there's a couple of little niggly stuff there, Ron. They could have been sucked in, but they just kept playing the ball. They were first to the ball all day. I think a well-deserved win.
Yes, well, I think talking of that, as you can see, the huddle in the middle of the ground there now with all the boys, they're ecstatic about their victory, and it was a great victory here this afternoon. Just quickly, Paul, I'll go through the Bellpost Hill players and their best, their goal kickers as well, and their best players, if you could then do the Thomson side for me, so that'll give you something to think about in the next 2 minutes. But goal kickers for the Bellpost Hill side, Neville O'Toole 2, singles to Colin Bellinger, Tim Everett, John Matthews, and also Steve Campbell. But best players for them, I suppose you'd have to look at number 4, Mark Houghton, across half back, did a pretty good job. Paul McDonald, number 5, also had a lot of possessions. Colin Bellinger was in and out of the game for them, but really, when you look at the forward setup of the Bellpost Hill side, they were very ordinary this afternoon because of the fact that the Thomson defence was supreme all day, and I think that's a pretty good lead for you, Polly, just to give your best players and goal kickers.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, well, the goal kickers, we'll go through them. We start off with Dougie Gillett, got 2 goals for Thomson. We've got Daryl Smith with 2 goals. Darren Spence with 2 goals. Them singles all to Dominic Cordello, Damien McDonald, Craig McCallum, Brian Suitors, Paul Marr, and Brad Redmond. 1. Yeah, very hard to pick the best players. I think it was a great team effort. Special mentions, I would say, to 2 fellas. That'd be Larry Hayes at full back, who was outstanding. I think he just held them out time and time again and followed the ball up. You know, very attacking, very defensive, both of them. You know, great game, Larry Hayes. And I thought the other one was Richard Presley. You know, for 3 quarters, dominated the ruck. Burrowed in, you know, on the ground. He just worked hard and hard all day. Maybe never took many marks or anything like that, but just kept running on, getting kicks, knocking the ball forward, and really helping the other blokes out. Going through, I think the centre, the coach played a great game. At centre half forward, he was someone to aim at all the time. After half time, they put Brad Redmond down to that forward line too. Was a very good player. Damien McDonald was a great player, great captain's game, especially the second half. Dominic Cordello, you just go right through them. They all contributed something, Ron, and it was a great win for the boys. And, looking down there, they're pretty proud of themselves. And, well, who knows from here, they might be able to go on with something in 2 weeks' time.
Well, thanks very much, Polly, for those words of wisdom this afternoon, and I'd like to thank you for assisting in the commentary this afternoon. I'm sure the boys at Thomson will thoroughly enjoy this tape this afternoon, and all the very best for the rest of the season. This has been Ronnie Brain, Paul Harrison, and guest commentator this afternoon in Ian Polly Rankin, wishing you a